When you hear the word wallet, your brain pictures something that physically holds your cash and cards. So when you set up a crypto wallet on your phone, it's completely natural to assume your Bitcoin or Ethereum is sitting inside it. But if you drop that phone in a lake and completely destroy the device, your funds are actually perfectly safe. That's because your crypto doesn't live on your phone. It doesn't live inside the wallet app at all. Every coin you own exists strictly as a record on a public blockchain. Think of the blockchain as a massive public square filled with transparent lockers. Everyone can look inside. Anyone can drop data or funds into any locker they choose. The only way to take anything out is to possess the one specific cryptographic private key that fits the exact address of that locker. Your wallet functions as a key manager. It generates and stores the cryptographic data required to prove you have the right to move those funds. While losing the app itself is harmless, a stolen key results in an irreversible loss. There is no bank or fraud department to call. Every wallet in this ecosystem relies on a pair of keys. They are generated together and mathematically linked, but they perform highly specialized jobs. The private key is a long string of random characters that acts as your master proof of ownership. You use it exclusively to authorize transactions and sign messages to the network saying, "Yes, I approved this move." You never share it. The public key is derived from that private key using one-way math. It acts like an open padlock. You can hand out copies of this padlock to the entire network so they can lock up a box of funds and send it to you. Since the math only goes one way, no one can use your padlock to reverse engineer your private key. While you could hand out your raw public key, in practice, the network uses something slightly more refined, your wallet address. To create this address, the system runs your public key through a hashing function. This process takes a bulky string of code and compresses it into a shorter, readable sequence of characters. You can think of this address exactly like an email address. You share it freely so people know exactly where to send your funds. Giving someone your address gives them zero power to access the underlying assets. The chain of trust flows in one direction. Your private key generates the signature. The public key allows the network to verify that signature. And the wallet address is simply the public destination for your funds. Since the wallet manages these cryptographic keys, the most critical question you have to answer when setting one up is, who is actually holding them? In a custodial wallet, like an account on a centralized exchange, a company holds the actual keys on your behalf. You get a familiar login and password, but the exchange is the physical custodian. You are trusting a corporation the same way you trust a bank. If that exchange freezes withdrawals, gets hacked, or collapses entirely, your funds are entirely out of your control. The alternative is a non-custodial wallet. Here, you generate the private key directly on your own device. Nobody else has it, and nobody else can freeze your account. You have absolute direct control over your assets. If you keep those non-custodial keys in a browser extension or a phone app, you are using a hot wallet. Hot wallets are connected to the internet, making sending funds fast, but that connection leaves your keys exposed to malware and digital pickpockets. To remove that exposure entirely, you use a cold wallet. This is a physical hardware device that stores your private key in a secure chip. When you sign a transaction, the math happens directly on the device. The private key never touches an online environment. Moving from a custodial exchange to a non-custodial cold wallet is a strict trade-off. You give up the safety net of customer support in exchange for uncompromising personal responsibility over your wealth. That personal responsibility relies entirely on the deepest layer of the crypto architecture, the seed phrase. A non-custodial wallet gives you 12 to 24 English words. This sequence mathematically generates every single key. It's your master key. If your device is destroyed, input these words into a new device to fully restore your financial history. The flip side is severe. If a hacker gets hold of those words, your passwords do not matter. They can recreate your wallet on their own computer and permanently drain your assets in seconds from anywhere on Earth. Protecting this phrase requires strict offline rules. Write the words down on paper or engrave them on metal and lock them in a safe. You never take a screenshot, you never snap a photo, and never use cloud notes. Doing so instantly connects your ultimate offline key to vulnerable internet-connected servers. True digital sovereignty requires strict analog security. If you don't hold the keys, you don't hold the coins.